Oh yeah, and another thing. Okay, I got these images from the Birmingham Radiological Group website. This is July 3rd, 2021. Okay, so I contacted the Birmingham Radiological Group upon discovery of the fact that several of these doctors involved were a member of this group in Birmingham. All right, and guess what happened? Almost a year has passed by since I contacted them, emailed them, and I was never contacted by this group. But as I just mentioned, I just got these profile pictures from their website. So this Birmingham Radiological Group, I believe that they are aware of my case and my injury and situation and disposition. So they never contacted me. But I will mention this, okay? The Birmingham Radiological Group, they are aware of my YouTube channel, My Medical Nightmare. And there I have over 10 hours video documentation where I got all my records. I put them up on the internet. And yeah, they regularly visit my YouTube channel. And I'll show here where a member of the Birmingham Radiological Group is a subscriber to my channel. This is Shannon Sykes, subscribed August 5th, 2020. So she's almost been a member of my, a subscriber to my YouTube channel, My Medical Nightmare, for almost a year. Alright, and you can look up her name in the Birmingham Radiological Group, and she's listed on their website as a compliance officer. Okay, so she looks at my YouTube channel. I've never been contacted by this woman. Okay, this shows the failing of modern society. Okay, I had this injury, very serious, basilar skull damage and head trauma. I was misdiagnosed. The proof, it's in the records that can be obtained and looked at. I'll show them here so you can verify this. And please go to the Birmingham Radiological Group website. Look at all the radiologists and doctors that are members of this group. All right, and none of these doctors ever contacted me. The group never looked at my case and got together and decided that there was some massive miscarriage of due process here. If you're a member of the Birmingham Radiological Group, or if you employ these doctors, you're a hospital or some kind of contractor or something like that, you need to be aware of my situation, because I believe I was misdiagnosed and possibly patient dumped by St. Vincent's East Hospital, Ascension, and they employed two of these doctors. And I'll go to the next one. Okay, did Julian Patrick Druhan. The next one I went and had an MRI looked at in 2019, and this was Angus Baird, MD, and he analyzed the MRI I had done at American Health Imaging, and this was in downtown Birmingham near UAB. You can see here, I'll put up the side-by-side image, his report, Angus Baird, MD's report, along with one of the images from the MRI scan, and this shows my injury very clearly. I have a pebble-sized piece of bone that broke off from the basilar area of my skull. You can see it's surrounded by infection, and you can see the hole in the skull, which leads into my brain case of my skull. You can see my brain here also. Alright, he looked at, there are 7 vertebrae in your neck, by the way, from your skull to your shoulders. Alright, and just so happens that Angus Baird, he only decided he was going to evaluate C2 through T1. Alright, okay, so what happened to C1? And if you look in the area of C1, you look in the area of C2, you can see the outside the influence of this injury very clearly. Alright, so why did he not evaluate this? He says disc height contour normal each level, no cerebral tonsillar herniation of spinal cord is normal, Impression: there is no disc herniation, spinal canal stenosis, foraminal stenosis, neural compression, etc. And you can read and look at this for yourself. Okay, but I've circled the injury here that was ignored. And why is this the case? Okay, so Angus Baird, he's a member of the Birmingham Radiological group, and look at his opinion here. Okay, this is not correct. This is not what shows up in this image. And go look at the CT images from St. Vincent's East Hospital, Ascension, Birmingham, Alabama, looked at by Julian Patrick Druhan. All right, his analysis is incorrect. I have broken the underside of my skull. Very serious injury I went to the emergency room with, and I was misdiagnosed. Okay, so the next doctor, Donald Shane Kelly, MD. And on the Birmingham Radiological Group's website, notice he is listed as Shane Kelly. Okay, he looked at a CT scan I had done with contrast, and this was taken on 8/3/2019 at St. Vincent's East Hospital, Ascension, Birmingham, Alabama. So in this scan, the brightness and contrast of these images, they make them hard to view. You can compare these to my CT scan without contrast from 4/22/19. You can see what I'm talking about. There are small fissures anomaly. They appear in this same area where there's a clear crack in the other imagery. And he says no acute finding. All right, but I'll put the images from the scan here, and you can see exactly what drove me into the emergency department on this date. By this point, I had massive infection, and parasites were proliferating inside my neck. And you can see this image here. This was a 3-inch long worm that grew inside my neck. And I'll show the other headshots. Beneath the crack in my skull where the brain fluid leaked out, the infection and all this stuff, some type of parasites, and many different types, grew in this area. You can see there's a black oval of some kind, like a tumor, that grew. And then in another image, it looks like some kind of insect, possibly with wings, maybe a botfly or something like that, had grew inside my neck. And this is absolutely awful. The pain was horrible. And I went to this hospital, these professional doctors, and they can't even see a 3-inch long parasite insect that had grown inside my neck. All right, Birmingham Radiological Group member. So from this scan, I received this bill through the mail, and you can see here at the top, Birmingham Radiological Group PC, statement date 10/7/19. If you're a member of this group of radiologists, this kind of thing, this makes you look bad. All right, it makes this group look bad. And as I mentioned, they've been aware of what happened to me for almost a year. And look here at the website. These doctors that were involved in this stuff, they're still members of this Birmingham Radiological Group. And this is unacceptable. So yeah, if you're a hospital, you deal with this group or doctors of this group, you need to bear in mind my situation. I'm a very sharp patient. I knew that what the hospital and doctors had told me was not true. I went and got my records, and I put it out here in the public so everybody can see what happened to me. And you need to be advised when you're doing business with these people. This group, Birmingham Radiological Group, they should be ashamed of themselves for allowing these kind of practices to go on by their members. And this is basically what I had communicated to them when I sent a message. And yeah, I think everybody needs to see this. Look at these pictures. Look what the doctors wrote. Listen to my words as a patient. All right. I went to all this trouble. I made these videos. I've done 10 hours documentation. I went back to these hospitals and obtained my records. Sometimes paid large sums of money to me to get my own records. All right. And I put it all out in the public. And that's because I was misdiagnosed.